The Clawing Crab has just been announced for the mob vote in Minecraft Live 2023, so in this video I'll tell you everything we know about the crab so far and if you should vote it into Minecraft 1.21. So where is this crab actually found? Well, let's try and find it the same way that they did inside of the announcement video, by locating with the spyglass the crab inside of the mangrove swamp. Now the crab would be able to generate all across this biome. In fact, another interesting ability that you might have noticed inside of the announcement video is that the crab can walk sideways up the side of trees. This is an ability that no other mob in the game has so far, although you could technically say the spider can do somewhat of a similar thing. The crab would actually rotate and be walking up the sides like this. Although I'm not sure, I wouldn't be shocked if the crab's breeding food was something like a mangrove propagule, or maybe a lily pad, or some other item found within the mangrove swamp. If you think about crabs, that's obviously sort of a beach-oriented mob, and that might give us a hint to this being somewhat of another aquatic-themed update, considering the fact that the announcement video was made from a boat, and also the crab being something you'd find on beaches and mangrove swamps. Now the crab itself probably will not spawn on the beach according to the video, but I'm sure if you have a place like this where there's a beach next to a mangrove swamp, you could have a beautiful area populated with these mobs. What actually makes crabs more powerful than just a decorative mob though? Well, crabs are going to have a really special item, and that's going to be the crab claw. Now the crab claw actually resembles a little bit of an armor trim in terms of its look, and you can notice on there that the crabs that are currently alive do have the claws on them, but also that there is a loose claw item that you'll be able to obtain. And you might be wondering, if the crab was introduced, would you actually kill this mob to harvest its claw? That itself is very unlikely, because Mojang generally does not add features which would make you have to hurt a passive mob to get yourself an item. Instead, it's much more likely that they'll be set up like the turtle, where you maybe have to do some kind of farming process to get the claw from this mob. Now what does the claw do? The claw will give you the ability to place blocks farther. You might be wondering what exactly that means. Well, obviously in Minecraft, I can only place a block out to a certain distance. But with the crab claw maybe in my inventory, in my offhand, or even connecting to the item, we're not really sure how this would work, we would be able to look at those blocks and maybe place from over there all the way back to where we are, instead of having to get closer and then walk when we're building. This would be an incredibly overpowered ability, and in my opinion, the crab will probably win the mob vote, as long as the features from the other two mobs are not as powerful. If you want updates on Minecraft Live, the mob votes, the new mobs being announced, and much more, be sure to subscribe to my channel with notifications turned on, so you can be updated on all the things that are going to be added to Minecraft 1.21. However, let's take a little look at the crab's appearance. This is definitely not what a standard crab in real life looks like, unlike, let's say, these frog mobs we're looking at currently. These frogs obviously do resemble somewhat what frogs do in real life, whereas this crab is a lot more unrealistic. It does walk side to side like how a crab does, however its texture is actually orange and blue. Now there are of course sea life of those colors, but this is obviously being made to look like much more of a cartoonish mob, which is interesting because that would probably end up indicating that the farming method may be a little bit different than with some mobs that are more realistic, like maybe the turtle. Now do I actually think the mangrove swamp needs a unique mob to it? It could be good. Obviously when the frogs were introduced in Minecraft 1.19, the mangrove swamp is the main place they generate, although they can also generate inside of the standard swamp. When the frogs were announced, it was kind of talked about as if they would only be in the mangrove swamp, but they're in the standard swamp also, so we may see the crabs there as well, although I don't really think crabs would fit into this biome well. The mangrove swamp also generates a lot of bees, so there would then be three main types of mobs you would find in here, and we could also count in the fish that generate at the bottom there. If we're going to do a little bit of theorizing about the crab though, what I would say is that the crab's ability to let you place blocks further away from itself probably indicates that the other mobs are also going to have really powerful abilities that actually change the way that the player interacts with the Minecraft world. This just may seem like a cool feature if the crab claw was added, being able to place blocks further away, but it is a fundamental difference from almost any other thing that's been added to the game, because as far as I know, there's no other item in the game that can change basic things, such as the distance you can place things at. Although of course there are enchantments, like let's say feather falling, that reduce fall damage, and of course certain items like elytra enable you to go faster, but there really isn't an item that can reduce or expand the range of your, let's say, attacks, or placing or breaking of blocks. What would actually be really crazy is if the next mob would give you the ability of being able to break blocks further, and the third mob maybe gave you the ability to attack from farther. If they did do this though, it would be a very hard choice between all three. But anyway, I think the crab is a great choice for a mob, and I think depending on the other choices, this is a feature that could make the game much easier and much better for almost everyone, as basically every player builds within Minecraft. Jeb said that all the mobs are going to be cute this time, and although I would not really classify a crab as being an incredibly cute mob, it is definitely an adorable texture they've had, with its classic Minecraft eyes, flat body, and large claws that protrude from it, almost kind of isolated from the rest of it, kind of floating. I'm not sure if they'll be able to wave in the game like they do on the video, but either way this mob could be awesome. Be sure to check out my community post asking what you think of this mob, and make sure to check back tomorrow on the next mob being announced for Minecraft Live in 2023. Minecraft Live will be happening on October 15th, and you'll be able to vote for a new mob for 48 hours before then. The voting will appear in-game on certain platforms, but you can also just vote from the launcher, which is probably the easiest. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and have a great day. Goodbye!